Let's go live. Already live. 5 minutes early. Hello. Welcome to the video. If you're watching this on replay, skip about 5 minutes or so. So I'm starting early here, but for those of you who are coming late, we're going through Nebraska offensive positive film analysis. Then we're going to do just a brief Northwestern preview, and then we're just going to talk about whatever. But going to give a few minutes, let people roll in here. Hope everyone's having a good Friday or Saturday or whenever you're watching this. And we'll see. Michigan hockey's losing to Western Michigan. What's going on there? Right? That's pretty wild. So we'll see. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Again, I'm starting early here. I should probably send out a tweet that I am live. Hopefully you can all hear me. Otherwise, I'm just speaking to nothing right now. Could happen. Let me tweet it out. Profile. Copy link. Copy. Nope, that doesn't look like it. Oh, that is it. Copy link address. Boom. Come say hi. Gonna be live for an hour plus. How about that? No one in the comments? What's going on? You guys just falling asleep like I am? It's been a heck of a week for me, man. Was in Chicago this past weekend for a wedding. Drove back on Monday. And then work has just been like one of the craziest work weeks I think it's been for me in a long, long time. So I apologize. Haven't had a whole lot of time to put out content this week, but lots coming. Mark LaFleur, I'm watching. Thank you for confirming I'm not a crazy person. Welcome, Greg Jones. Welcome to the stream. Hope your guys' Friday nights are going all right. Yeah, man, I'm excited for another game. This last week, I know my friend didn't purposefully schedule it on the bye week, but if there's going to be a fall wedding, do it on a bye week, right? So that was fun. But I'm ready for another game. Just be chilling here at home, not going to this one. I'll be at the Indiana game, but not the next couple. But yeah, we'll give another couple minutes here. Let people show up when I scheduled it. But just hopping in here, getting it going early. Hopefully music's not too loud. It's been a bit since I've done a live stream, admittedly. It takes a lot of time. But real quick, before we get started, shout out members. Go through list of the members here on the channel. Why isn't that coming up? Oh, that's odd. I thought it would come up. No, doesn't come up. There we go. Joseph Merriam, Ray Shortridge, Logan Evans, Wes Weber Jr., Drink Duff 77, Christopher L, Venom 22, Emily Stout, GDRCO, Ian McDonald, Lewis Blake, Boogie Board Sean, Noah Schroeder, Dylan Girk, Alex Fuller, Andrew Decker, Sam Lee, Terry Pender, and Keno Bear. Thank you all for supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. It really does. All right, we got 30 seconds before it's 9:30, and then we're just going to leave those late people in the dust. They can get their analysis some other time. But yeah, thanks to everyone who subscribed. Throw a like on the video before we get going here. And remind me, if I don't remember, to go small head, right? Because usually I forget to switch my screen from the big head to small head. So I might do that. So we'll see. Alex Fuller. You're on the list, buddy. Welcome to the stream. I don't know what's going on with my body here. I'm like morphing into the play. It's a little odd. I don't know what's going on there. Andrew Decker making it to a live stream. Look at that. Alex Fuller, Andrew Decker. I can highlight both of you there. Actually, I haven't tried this. Can you highlight? You can't highlight multiple people unless they're on subsequent lines. But welcome, Alex. Welcome, Andrew, Greg, Mark. Let's get going here. All right. Got some viewers. Let's get it going. Let's get it popping. Okay, full disclosure. I put together this list of plays, and then I haven't taken a look at it in like a week. So you're going to see how it's all made. All right, what I mean by that is I haven't watched these plays since it's been since the game happened. So you're gonna see how I analyze live. So this is gonna be a live analysis. So usually I check, okay, I got both colors going on. Andrew Decker work has been crazy. 7-0 was the final bet for Mustache Steven, right? Was that a bet? Was that a bet? Andrew, I don't remember that. First stream pumped. Let's do this. Rod Anderson 34. Remind me, Andrew Decker, if I had some bet of 7-0 for Mustache Steve, I don't remember that bet. I believe you, but I just don't believe it. Or I don't remember it. That has me really nervous now. Okay, let's get going. Okay. And we're gonna struggle through this analysis together.
Receivers and Haskins on the right hip of Cade McNamara, who keeps it. That's J.J. McCarthy into the game, actually.
J.J. McCarthy here in the first quarter, finding his way. So this is what I usually do. As soon as I get the first play, what I usually do on my other monitor, that's why I keep looking over here at my other monitor. I just like to scrub through this play, understand what's going on, right? Undefeated season, he has to do handlebar mustache for the rest of the year. No one wants to see that. Okay, so this looks like an arc keeper, right? So what my eyes are looking at immediately are what are the eyes of the quarterback looking at, right? So he's staring down 44 here. If 44 comes down the line of scrimmage, this is a keep to the outside. If he plays to the running, or I'm sorry, if he intercepts the path of the quarterback here, then it's the give, right? And the reason you do that is because this guy here, you take him out of the picture, right? Because you're reading him. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, really like 5 defenders. And you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers, essentially, okay? They might actually be counting this as 5 in the box and not counting this guy, right? If the play is going this way, these are your 5 that you have 5 players to block against. Small head. I already forgot it. This is why I tell you guys to do this. I'm just drawing over my face. Okay. I already did it. It's going to be a long night. Let me do that again, okay? Because I don't know what all you could see. This is the read man, eyes on him. If he goes down the line of scrimmage, you keep to the outside. Otherwise, if he gets into the backfield, you give here, okay? And then you got 5 in the box here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you got 5 blockers on the line of scrimmage. All right, so that's the beauty of this play. And they're bringing the tight end here on an arc block here based off of this read. If it's a keep, you have your lead blocker, okay? Thank you for all letting me know. I was big head. That's where I'm at today. All right. So you can see 44, right? We will look at the blocking in a minute here, but 44, he's going down line of scrimmage, appropriate keep, right? And you can continue down this way. You have 1-on-1 blocks on the outside, and you should have a pretty big gain here. So continuing down, correct read on the keep, right? Decent blocking on the outside, right? Wide receivers locked up here. You could argue that I think this is Schoonmaker should probably turn back and block this guy, but usually you want them to continue upfield, right? You expect J.J. McCarthy to be able to beat a linebacker flowing backside here. So he is appropriately going out to the safety. A little bit of traffic, right? A couple guys get off of their blocks, namely J.J. McCarthy has to deal with this guy, and because he has to deal with this, he's cutting back over here. That'll mess up this block. He'll be able to flow over, right? So it's a good job picking through traffic from J.J. McCarthy, and they don't expect him to keep running after like this point. It looks like they expect him to go out of bounds, and he just keeps going. So good job for McCarthy not quitting, right? So looking at the other side, what's the blocking on the line of scrimmage? Okay, so it looks like Stuber's just doing a down block on 95. You got a 2-on-1 here. Probably your center is probably going to reach to release here to get to the linebacker, and then boom and boom, right? That's what you're looking like probably on the zone blocking up front there. Stuber has to do a better job getting his head across here. right? 95 is able to knife his way into the backfield, so he has to do a better job just closing this off, trying to get his head across the body there. So, you know, it's the right read from McCarthy, so the blocks don't really matter, right? Because 44 is flying down the line of scrimmage, they have the numbers in the box, right? This is now your 6th man in the box after you count the initial 5, and you only have 5 blockers. So it's not going to look good with whatever fake is going on here to Haskins on the inside. So it's the right move on the outside. You'd like this block to be executed a little better, but still a good pickup, and this is why you continue to get McCarthy experience in these scenarios, because, you know, God forbid a quarterback gets hurt down the line, or even you need a quarterback to make a play. This is a quarterback make a play sort of scenario. Okay, my head's still small. Let's see, any comments here? Who's our best blocking tight end? Probably All. I think Eric All is pretty good. I think Eric All is probably the best all-around tight end by some wide margin right now. And there's a couple plays I have in this game that I think show why he's so valuable. Venom 22 though, making an appearance. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Appreciate all your comments. All the Venom 22 puts out some analysis on the Discord channel. It's really cool. He's much better at terminology than I am, which isn't saying a whole lot. Sorry, but okay. Play number 2 here. Let's get into it.
Play clock almost expired. McNamara's a wide open receiver over the middle. It's Luke Schoonmaker, the
Schoonmaker. All right. So this is just a really good call, right? 3rd and 10. And this looks like just like tight end leak, right? Because Michigan initially has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in for protection. And let's, again, just kind of scrub forward and backwards through the play here. Yeah, so Nebraska is sending 6, right? So let's look at what they're trying to do. On this side, they're trying to stunt. This guy's attacking the outside. He's going to loop inside. Looks like a similar deal here. Defensive tackle attacking to the outside. This guy's looping around, and then you have a late blitz here, okay? So it's kind of a mess, but you got a stunt here between these two guys, and then kind of a stunt here between these two, and a late blitz from your outside linebacker right there. So that's kind of what it looks like. Let's see how Michigan does with the pass protection. Yeah, so I mean 48 comes free off the edge, right? No one accounts for him. But yeah, they could have done a better job passing off here, right? Because Hayes and Keegan right now, they're both blocking this guy. Hayes should be able to kick out here and pick up this edge rusher. Instead, they're both kind of caught on 95 there, and Hayes never really gets outside. So luckily this is a quick pass, right? But that's a miss on that end. On the other side, picked up the stunt pretty well right here, and this stunt was picked up from Bastardis. So good job on pass protection overall, just a miss from Hayes there. So, you know, luckily you have this tight end leaking late, right? So you have Shoemaker, he's just doing like a little shuffle, just 1-2 shuffle, and then he's just going to leak here, and it's going to be wide open. So looking at the rest of the routes, doesn't really matter all that much, right? Like I can't really tell what's going on. It seems like just a couple of, like maybe this is like a skinny post. This looks like a seam route. This looks like a curl. And then we can't tell what's happening at the bottom of the screen. But looks like this is like designed tight end leak, right? The eyes of McNamara are first going to this safety. And once he sees this safety kind of cover here, right, because you got man coverage here. As soon as he sees the safety drop here, I don't know if his eyes will go to 28. Let's see if they do. Yeah, it does. So he sees that safety, right? So he knows he's not going to have one-on-one coverage on the outside. Then he probably shifts his eyes here to check the late tight end leak here to see if this will be open. Where does 28 drop, right? If 28 doesn't drop deep enough, then you're probably based on alignment right here. If this guy doesn't drop, right? If this guy doesn't drop, you're going to have something right here on this sort of skinny post. Right, so this guy has a lot of weight now. After he saw the safety gone, he knows there's not going to be any safety help over the top. So he's checking 28. Is he dropping to take out this skinny post? If so, there's nobody right here, right? So this is the second read for McNamara, and that's why this guy has to vacate to cover this skinny post. So that's a good read from McNamara, recognizing, okay, boom, he's gone. Here's my tight end. Deliver that before the pressure gets there, right? And look at all that green grass. That's just beautiful. So yeah, I love that play, right? And it's so hard to defend too, because it's like more often than not, teams are going to keep a tight end in to deal with pressure situations like that. And this play will work quite often. So I really like that play. Oh, I even had the better angle here and I didn't utilize it. Oh, that's a bummer. So yeah, this is a good angle for the eyes, right? The eyes were first right here. He's dropping back here. Now his eyes are shifting right here. This guy's covering the skinny post. Then he got the leak coming out. Should use that angle all the way. Darn. So yeah, good call. Good execution. Good timing. That's what I like. It was really good timing as well. All right, play number 3.
Last week at Wisconsin. McNamara will sling it again. Has another tight end wide open. It's Joel Honigford.
Joel Honigford. I made a highlight video for Joel Honigford back when he committed to Michigan. Blast to the past right there. This is a first catch. Maybe that's why I included this one. So let's see. What's the pass rush look like for Nebraska here? Nothing special, right? You just got 1, 2, 3, 4. Michigan keeps in, and Haskins here just a chip before he heads out what looks like to the flats probably, right? But then you also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in to deal with 4 rushers plus Haskins. So you're 6-4 outnumbered at the time of the throw, right? Boom. Actually, who is this? Is this Keegan losing right here? Or is that Filiaga? I can't tell. They rotated so many guys. Well, there were injuries, right? No, that's Keegan. So Keegan starts to lose a little bit to 95, right? Not an issue. Didn't affect this play, really. But you'd like to see Keegan stay in front of him a little bit. 95 is getting some penetration there, right? Everyone else is dealt with, but Keegan could have done a little bit better of a job. Let's see. What are the routes now that we're looking at? Look like you got some kind of like hitch route here on the outside, right? He's kind of hitching right here. Obviously the crossing route from Honigford right here. This is probably either a go or a post. I can't tell. And I don't think we get a view on the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, we don't get a real good view. Yeah, that's a skinny post from Eric All from the tight end position there. So, okay, that's the route tree. That's what you're looking at. Let's see the eyes. So this is another situation where you can see how this linebacker, it looks like the eyes for McNamara, right? Eyes right here. Michigan's just picking on this guy, right? We saw in the last play. Skinny post right here. Someone's got to account for it, right? Otherwise, this is going to be wide open. So he's dropping to try to take that away, it seems. And again, this is the exact guy. You put him in conflict. Either he has to play up on the crossing route and take this away, or he has to continue to drop back to take away that skinny post. So that's something where, again, he's dropping to take away that skinny post. And what does that do? That opens up Honigford there. So linebackers are just dropping into zone, right? All 4 of these guys are drop, 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 and drop. And because of that, it just leaves Honigford there. So this is just a good route right here to ensure that you're keeping this guy honest. Because otherwise, if he plays up, you got something to drop over the top right to this guy for a potential, big play. It looks like there was one other check there. You see that? So it looks like he's initially reading 42, right? His eyes are on 42 right here. It looks like he's reading this. Does his eyes go to the outside? Yeah, it looks like he's looking to the outside as well. I don't know what he's checking there. He might be looking for number 9 to see if he's really vacating. Right, boom, eyes, and now it looks like he's potentially checking to the outside for number 9 to see what he's up to. And that probably tells him that this is going to be safe, right? Because if he is kind of like sitting here based on his body language, if he's facing this way, then this doesn't become as attractive of a throw. So with him going this hard outside as well, that's probably taking away this hitch. So he's probably, okay, this guy's taking away the skinny post. So I'm likely going to have this as a crossing route. The only other thing now is where's this guy? Because he trusts him one-on-one on the hitch route. You can win that to the outside. But if this guy is creeping over there, that's not a good throw you want to make, and this will be your option. Otherwise, if he's sitting up here to take away this crossing route, then you'll have something. So yeah, that's what he's looking at there. Yep. And good job from Honigford to get the first down, right? Barrels into the guy, good 10 yards. Easy play, right? Seems like easy yards, and it's a nice, quick, easy read. All right, let's see.
It took a very long time. It was pretty clear that the ball needed to be moved. McNamara play action as a man wide open, and a diving attempt made, and the catch.
Post route here. Give me a second. This is one, you guys might yell at me. I don't know if this is actually a catch, okay? Let's skip to that right away, okay? First of all, hell of a layout, right? Boom, lays it out, right? Unbelievable catch. Throw could have been more accurate, not gonna deny that. But I want to get your opinions here, unbiased opinions. Do you think this ball hits the ground here? Right there, maybe. I don't think it did there. I think that there's no way they would ever overturn that. But I'm thinking right here, right there, that nose of the ball. You do see the ball move after, but his hands are still on the ball. So I don't know if the ground is causing that movement. You know, it's possible. I think he has control. I think if this did go to review, it would have stood as it was called. But it's close. But man, just look at that extension, right? We'll get to the actual play analysis and why this should have been a touchdown, right? But yeah, I don't think they have enough to overturn the call. It's possible though, man. It's possible. It's close. It's close. That would be one where I wouldn't be surprised either way if it stood or if it was incomplete. But yeah, this should have been a touchdown. Right? It's tough. It's super close. So this is a really, really nice route, right? Because what you have from Sainristil, he's looking inside here, right? And let's just first look at his route. We'll go for his route and then we'll look at blocking first. So he's just doing a post, right? And then he like looks inside here and then he goes up again. So this just tricks this guy, right? He sees this initial head movement and he commits to this hard. He watches the head of Sainristil on this like skinny post, right? Boom, there's your eyes. Look at the eyes for Sainristil looking inside, and that's what burns the guy. Boom, and then you can cut up field, and the dude is burnt toast, right? He bit really hard on that move, and now he's behind by 5 yards. So yeah, this is another case. I don't want to say another case because it hasn't happened all too often this year with Cade McNamara. But this is the case where there's no need to throw it like dead on, right? You have enough wiggle room where just leave it lofted up, right? And let him run under it. So you'd like to see that ball delivered more accurately with a little bit more loft and not force such a circus catch. But, I mean, heck of a job, right? What are the other routes? Got kind of a simple little in route here, little bubble screen fake action. And then, yeah, like I said, just fake skinny post, boom, double move to go on a go route. And then how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, these are the only 3 wide receivers on the field. Okay, so let's look at the protection, right? Little play action there. I like how the eyes are initially going to like this bubble screen, right? And then he goes to the post. Only 4 on the pass rush. You got plenty in to protect, right? You got Haskins in as well. So there's nothing here, right? You got 2 guys, Haskins helping out Honigford here on this guy. Stuber's got this guy corralled, 4 guys on 2 defensive linemen here. Pocket couldn't be more clean. So yeah, this is just a case where you had a guy and it was a touchdown. So the M turf, is that design play action or a read? It's 100% a play action because he's not reading anybody. Yeah. So the only reason, if this were a read, if he was reading somebody, it would be this guy. This is the guy in space, right? Because the only other possible action out of this is the bubble screen to Baldwin. So if you're reading this guy, then you're saying, okay, does he come up to play the box for a handoff, right? And to be clear, this isn't the case, right? Because McNamara is strictly just looking out here. He's trying to sell this action to get some sort of reaction out of these guys, right? But he's not actually reading anything. If he were trying to read something, again, he'd be reading right here, because if he comes up in the box, then you could potentially throw the screen, and then you'd have one-on-one blocks, boom and boom, and you'd have something to the outside, right? Just one-on-one with the safety. And then if this guy would play out to the bubble screen, right, then you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads on 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6 probably, or even to the safety. So you'd have numbers. So this is not an actual read, I don't believe. I think this is a designed play action, and I think the main look here is just strictly picking on this guy for this fake. I think that's what's going on here. But just because of the eyes here, right? He's not actually looking at anything. So that's why I don't think there's any possible read here. And if this was actually going to get thrown, this bubble screen, right? He would need to be reading this guy, because you can't like delay a bubble screen really. I mean, technically, if you do look at the play, he could still throw that dump off, right? Baldwin, you could probably pick up a couple yards here based on the drops here, and there's no one really around. But again, I think this is play action designed to go this route all the way. So yeah, super clean pocket. Just overthrew it, right? Nothing else to go off. Number 2 has to run a bubble here. He's on the line covered by number 1, so he can't go downfield. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't look at the alignments there. Right, so actually that's a really good point. This guy's not even eligible. Oh, yeah, he has to do this because you're right. He's covered up on the line. He can't go downfield. Yeah, it's a good point. So yeah, he's not an eligible receiver. So you can't run him downfield or else it'd be an eligible receiver. Good point there. I didn't look at his alignment. That makes sense. So yeah, I think that's all just a decoy, honestly. But yeah, he had him. Just missed him. But yeah, that was designed all the way to go to Sainristil. And I mean, give him credit, right? Heck of a play. I'm surprised they didn't review it, but it's possible it probably would have stood. But Michigan ran a play quickly. They might call that incomplete. Just knowing how reviews go. All right, let's move on. Next one.
Against Wisconsin late in the game last week. Here comes a blitz. McNamara got it off. Blake Corum spins around, breaks free from 2 defenders.
Little dump off to Blake Corum. And this is why you squat 500 pounds, right? I don't know what he actually squats, but this is such an interesting play to me from Nebraska's approach here. That's a good point, Venom. He could have thrown him the ball backwards. He could have thrown... Well, yeah. Yeah, I think... Yeah. Because that would have been like a handoff. That's counted as a lateral. That's not counted as as like a pass in that scenario. I'd have to look at the rule book. I love this angle, man. Is it the NFL that has like every game has this sky cam? I don't even think it's every game, right? So let's look at the pressure first. And this is partially what makes this play really interesting. So they're bringing 4. Nebraska's bringing 4. They got 1, 2, 3, and this guy's going late 4 on a stunt. Okay, so let's look at the pressure. They actually get what they want, right? They get what they want. This is a super late pressure. I like Stuber does a good job here. I think Zinter overcommits, right? Zinter, look at the bodies of both Vistardis and Stuber. Stuber is ready for this, right? He sees number 2 looping here. Stuber was pointed this way the entire time, so it's really easy for him to slide over, pick up this gentleman here. Vistardis, even through this play, blocking, but he has the ability to move over here if need be, and he will need to because this guy is shooting the A-gap. But Zinter is losing this battle, right? He cannot appropriately shift from blocking this gentleman over here. That's what he needs to do, because then that would free up Vistardis to get to this block. But because Zinter is losing leverage there, he's not able to move over. He does a little bit late, right? Because Vistardis at this point is committed, and Zinter realizes, Stuber already has this guy. I'm missing something. Does a good job to course correct late, right? It's a little too late, but that's the kind of thing he's doing. And also you need, is that Barnhart? Carson Barnhart, 52 here. Yeah, you need Barnhart to do a better job here as well, right? Because this guy is clearly going out to Hayes. As soon as he makes this far out of a motion, you need Barnhart to just get some depth and get some understanding here, right? He needs to understand, hey, this guy is fully committing. Hayes has him one-on-one. I'm not going to be of any help here. I just need to get depth, put my head on a swivel, right, and see what's coming. If he did that, then he would have been able to close the gap between Vistardis, right, because this guy's going here. He is just trying to get Vistardis going this way to create space for this athletic pass rusher here to get there, right? So this is a job accomplished from Nebraska. Barnhart needs to do a better job recognizing that, hey, I need to keep my hips square. This guy is not my responsibility anymore, and help pick this up. And I think Zinter just loses this block a little bit and loses his form to not appropriately deal with this pass off. So that's the thing. So this gets there, right? But luckily there's a quick dump off, and K. McNamara does the right thing by dumping it off at the right location. So one thing that's interesting is because of this pass rush, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're dropping this defensive end in a zone here specifically to deal with this sit route for Blake Corum, right? They're dropping a defensive end on that because of this sort of exotic look. So that's an interesting thing that Nebraska is doing here. Real quick before I get to Corum and this throw, let's look at the routes. On the left side, looks like you just have kind of a like corner route, flag route, or you want to call it, and then a quick out here for Baldwin, right? That's what it looks like there. And then on the other side, looks like, what do you call this? Like a dig route, boom, just like inside release, and then similar thing to the outside here. We can't really see it, but a little bit deeper on the outside. So that's what it looks like for the routes, right? And this, the thing I like about this throw from McNamara, he does do a little sidearm here, I think, to kind of get, like, recognizes the pressure coming, right? But he also recognizes, hey, I don't have what I want anything on the left side here. Oops, switched the wrong tool. If I throw it here, I'm in trouble because this guy's just sitting here, right? This guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's defensive end. Why is he out here? But if he throws over here, that creates a lot of room for Blake Corum to create space, right? So he's making the right throw here. You could argue he probably could have thrown to Sainristil here as well, and that would have been an option. But with pressure right in his face, this is a good dump off, right? And it's a really good dump off on this side where Blake Corum can then make a play, right? You look at everything else, nothing really is open. You know, you could probably throw open Dalen Baldwin here on the outside. Shoemaker looks pretty well covered. So for the eyes of McNamara, where's he going first here? First read looks to be on number 5, probably. Looks like he's looking at number 5, seeing how he plays this. Doesn't like what he sees there, and then shifts off, probably checking this gentleman right here. Looks like it. But then with the pressure, I think then he's just like, okay, I got to make a decision, and dumps it off to Blake Corum. So good decision, right? Pressure in his face, makes a good call, throws it to the right side of Blake Corum, and Blake Corum does the rest, right? He's able to make his way upfield, and yeah, I don't know what that defensive end is doing. He's just there to like just cut off that route, probably just bear hug him if he keeps going. I think like the whole purpose, I think, for Nebraska is this presence of this guy would scare Cade McNamara, right? I bet they were just expecting Blake Corum to like continue on his path here, or hoping that he was, and that by the time it came for a dump off to this guy, Cade McNamara would just see a gentleman in the vicinity of Blake Corum's path and not even deal with it, right? That's what I'm thinking was the intent by doing that. But that defensive end isn't really playing it that great. But he's defensive end. So yeah, you could argue that post to Sainristil was there, and I think you're right. With extra time here, Sainristil's popping open, right? I think I'm probably underselling that. And I don't know if that's a dig or just an inside post route, but you're right. This is open. This is something that could have been there. But with pressure in his face, that's a hard ball to throw, especially with the ref right there. Like, I don't blame that. And there is still a chance this guy could break on the ball, right? So I'm with you. That it could have been open. But with the pressure right in his face, I think people are discounting that, right? This is an accelerated pass because of this right here, right? At this point, Sainristil hasn't made his cut. So he can't really appropriately read this, right? So that's something where it's like, yes, you're right that it was for sure coming open. But at this point, you got a guy hurling at your face. You see an open check down, you take that. So I think you're both right, but I think you're discounting the effect of having a super fast pass rusher in your face. Question: why do they constantly throw to the tight end over the middle on third downs? Well, we showed it in an earlier play. No, you need to anticipate, not wait till he's open. I mean, that's a thing, man. So Cade McNamara needs to be throwing this ball right now. Are you telling me right now, right? This is when he has to start his throwing motion, that you know that this guy isn't going to break on this pass? I don't think I'm confident with that, right? Like, I don't know enough about this guy's body movement right now to know how quickly he's going to be reacting to this route. I just don't think he has enough information on that. I mean, that's a split-second decision, right? Only now do we see, based on this break, is that this angle isn't really a challenging one to Sainristil on his post route. So I think that's a riskier throw than you're making that out to look like. For the Mike Sainristil throw, he would need to step in, deliver with the safety still there. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he'd have to deliver a really fast pass there. And it would have to be more inside, right? He couldn't be leading it here with what he knows about this gentleman. He would have to cut this off closer here to ensure he beats this guy. So it's possible. But I think with just, again, this pressure here, this is the safe move, and he did the right thing. I think he did the right thing. Sue me. Why do they constantly throw to the tight end over the middle on third downs? Well, there was a play earlier where the linebacker dropping into zone was covering a skinny post from Eric Gall. And because the linebackers consistently drop to take away the seam or the skinny post, that opens up a lot more crossing routes underneath. I think there's another play. We'll get to that later. But let's move on.
Look to the middle of the field. They try to surprise him with the run, and they do. Blake Corum inside the 20 and thrown down near the 15.
Blakey Corum. Blake Corum. My man. I don't know what to call this. What do you call this? That's not trap, right? Because trap is when you let a guy inside unblocked. So this isn't that. Is like insert? Is that the term for this? Big fan of calling defenders gentlemen. That should be your trademark. That's a weird trademark. All right, what do we got here? I'm going to call this insert because that's the only thing that's coming to my brain. It's the only thing coming to my brain right now. What they're doing with this H-back, right? Your tight end here, Schoonmaker. I still don't know whether it's Schoonmaker or Schoonmaker. ISO or insert. Okay, insert. Insert zone. Yeah, zone blocking. No pulls here outside of the tight end. So insert. Okay. My brain at least led me to a somewhat right call here. Okay. So yeah, looks pretty simple. Okay, and this is honestly, you're seeing how I do this for all of my videos. This is just what I do. I just go forward and backwards a million times, and luckily I have a good software set up to be able to do that until things just start making sense. So Bastardas has a free release out to this linebacker. That's really nice. Obviously the tight end is going to just loop around here. You got one-on-one blocks here. This defensive tackle takes himself out of the play by going outside here. So 1-2, 1-2, boom, block here, and everyone's accounted for, right? Everyone gets blocked, and then you have one-on-one to the safety with Blake Corum. Good blocks all around. Good read. Oh, actually, what happened to number 95 there? Is that Barnhart? Barnhart just loses that. Okay, I didn't see that. Barnhart needs to get his hat on the inside here. He just loses contact. So that's not great. And also, yeah, Stuber does get pretty trucked. Doesn't really matter, but this is the case where two guys can still get absolutely demolished, right? Stuber gets trucked. Barnhart loses his block, and you still have Blake Corum able to make things work because the defense is stretched out, right? Because you have wide receivers on either end. You have a six-man box, and look how wide, like, spread out and how much room there is just for Blake Corum here. So despite Barnhart losing that block right there, Schoonmaker makes his block really well. Bastardas with another key block. Look at both those guys get, well, an assisted pancake for Schoonmaker, and Bastardas just absolutely demolishes that linebacker. So that's a really good job from Bastardas blocking the play right there. And then this is just Blake Corum, like, just next level running back, right? There's a lot of open space here. He knows that this guy has to come down hard with the eyes where Blake Corum is looking, and then he just says, nope, I'm going to the outside. And Blake Corum will just do that to you, right? Just break the dude's ankle. Actually, incredible recovery there from that safety somehow to still get a hand on Blake Corum, because that's a lot of space, right? That's a lot of space for that safety to try to cover. And then it's just Blake Corum against some backside flow. So all Stuber has to do is keep the defensive end outside. He did his job from the ground. I mean, you're not wrong. He doesn't have to do a whole lot. Stuber doesn't have to do a whole lot. He does enough, but it doesn't look great. He'll probably get made fun of on film. But okay, pretty simple. Let's move on here.
First and goal from the 3. Haskins.
So this is one I have some questions on because it looks like he's reading here, right? So this is inside zone, just kind of a split flow look sort of deal. Stuber's playing the long game. Let your man think you won and get him actually do what you want. That's fair. Okay, so this play, right? Split zone blocking. But man, you have Schoonmaker just absolutely wide open, right? He's running kind of a flag route here. And then you have the split zone action coming, or the split flow action, whatever you want to call it, out of Eric All coming across. He's going to be wide open here. I mean, both are wide open, right? Schoonmaker is wide open. So I don't know why this isn't a throw, right? You could maybe argue, here's the only argument I see. It looks like he's reading 43. Okay, it looks like he's reading this guy. It could be a combination of these guys, right? Because both these guys are responsible for the routes coming across here. Maybe he's reading that both of these guys are coming flying up field too much and that they're going to take themselves out of the play for Haskins. That's the only way that I see this being like an okay give. because 44 doesn't like that. That's the only thing where both of those guys are coming up field, right? If these guys are hugging the line of scrimmage, if they're playing this handoff really hard, then it's a different read, right? Then it's just a boom, quick pop pass here. But because they're coming upfield, maybe that's why the give is still okay here. I don't know. I don't think this is like it's neither of those. Well, number 8 does make the initial contact on Haskins, but like what? This is after 2 yards. Like he's at the 1 yard line when he gets contacted by one of those guys. Okay. So like you could call this like a wrong read, but I don't know. Obviously the throw would have been wide open. So it's probably the wrong read and it just works out. Okay. I think that's the short answer here. That's the short answer. How are the blocks? I'm not going to look at the backside. Everyone's just down blocking this. Just boom, boom, boom. Stuber has a really important block here, as does Chucky Filiaga in the game. So those two do a really good job getting movement. Look at the footwork on Stuber, man. Michigan's best offensive lineman. 44 was playing Cade. Cade looks like Manning Brothers when he runs. Andrew says, saw number 8 sitting right out there pre-snap, made up his mind. That's probably true too. But yeah, look at Stuber moving his guy just completely down the line of scrimmage. Huge block, right? That opens up the hole completely. Filiaga gets pretty decent movement on his guy as well, locked up with him. So those are the 2 blocks that matter on this play. This linebacker is flowing to this play, but just not enough time for him to get over for it to make a difference. And then this guy's caught in no man's land, right? He's like, oh shit, it's a pass. Then he comes out here, takes himself out of the play, and this is the only guy who actually makes an impact on the play. So yeah, it's probably a misread, but when a guy like Haskins and kind of a misplay from Nebraska, I think it just covers it, right? But it's good to have options, right? So you can be mad. I'm not going to be mad. All right, next play. Got like 8 more plays.
3 weeks, 8 minutes to go in the quarter. Open receiver and a first down to Cornelius Johnson.
One of the better throws I think that we've seen out of Cade McNamara this year. Just beautiful. First of all, I want to look at the route because this route was just beautiful from Cornelius Johnson. Boom. Look how quick, man, he decelerates, right? He doesn't like sell this all that, like his deceleration is super quick right here, right? He decelerates like right here, right? Boom, boom, boom. That's like a 3 or 4 yard full speed to complete stop and just on a straight line, right? Ball was delivered exactly where it had to, really well, on time. And honestly, there's like not a whole lot any defender can do there. And it almost results in a huge pickup because of how well timed that is. Cornelius Johnson can almost stay in bounds and turn this into like a giant pickup. So it was that well executed from both a route standpoint, timing standpoint, and pass location. Just really, really great. But Cornelius Johnson, man, I need him to blow up for my Big Ten fantasy team this week. So do more of that. Let's see what the rest of the play looks like. Oh, yeah, Haskins just absolutely decleats that guy. Paul with the comment there. So let's see. How many are they sending? Just 4, right? And the thing I love about this block, so right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Michigan's got obviously 1, 2. Oh, I hate when it does that. I don't know why it does that randomly. It'll just randomly cut out. So the thing I love about this, it's such an inexpensive thing to just do this once in a while. Just say, Haskins, blow the absolute, I don't know what the word is, but shit out of this guy, okay? Andrew, shut up. It is going to happen for a fantasy team. It's going to happen. So Haskins just takes out this guy. And you don't have to do this every play, but doing this every once in a while, that guy's going to think about that once in a while, right? Boom. He's going to think about Haskins next time he's coming on a pass rush. And just absolutely obliterates that guy. So that guy's going to think twice on his next pass rush. Everything else, it's such a quick pass that nothing really gets there. Stuber gets worked, okay? I was just praising him on the last play, and he gets absolutely worked by this guy. Really nice like rip move from him, and he's starting to get pressure. So a little bit rushed here in terms of the throw. I mean, not really rushed, right? But not the best pass protection there. Even I think, is that Carson Barnhart, right guard? Yeah, even he gets worked a little bit by 93. Has to stay in front of him a little bit better. So there's two guys that are, closing this pocket relatively quickly. Vistardis doesn't have great leverage here. So there's a lot of guys on this particular play that could have done better, especially Stuber. And then what are we looking at? Routes. So kind of like a quick out and up here on the sideline. Looks like another crossing route from Honigford. And then I don't know what Stuber's running. Stuber's just running up the seam, it looks like. And then you have this just hard out route. So yeah, man. That's a great pass. Great anticipation. Great route. Threw him open. Almost a huge play. Not much more to say there. Okay. Let's move on. Third quarter.
You don't turn it over, you don't allow sacks. That's a pretty successful formula. How about Haskins again? You're not going to tackle me. Still powering his way.
And this is a play where if anyone complains about like, oh, they didn't blow the whistle for the Adrian Martinez fumble late in the game, right? Look how long that play went, right? Some guy could have came flying in and ripped the ball out of Haskins' hand, and Nebraska fans would be like, he was still moving forward, but since I have Nebraska, it's the other way around, right? So anyway, we don't get the best angle here. I don't like doing these sort of play analysis with this angle, but we're going to do what we have to do here. So looks like zone read based off of McNamara reading number 13 off the edge here. And it looks like counter. Like counter tray zone. Counter tray zone read. So, again, this is one of those things where it's like, is this the correct read? Because number 13 is flying upfield. And I think number 13 does a good job here. He doesn't end up making any impact on the actual play here. So you could argue either way, right? Some people will say wrong read because if he keeps the ball, look at all the open space here. He got blocks on the outside. He's gone, right? But based on number 13, he's slowing down. He might be able to make the play here, but he didn't make the play on Haskins, right? So that's something where it's like it worked out, right? But I think that's a pretty decent play from number 13. That's not an easy read, and he more like just kind of catches himself up in no man's land than anything else. Okay, so let's look at the blocks here. What is Michigan looking at? So you're pulling Barnhart, right? You're leaving this defensive end off the line of scrimmage, pull him, picks him up. Then you're going to be pulling Shoemaker behind him through the hole. Okay, so that's what you got there. Barnhart, good job. I like the head placement of Barnhart as well. Right? Boom. Look at that head placement of Barnhart. It's to the inside here. He does exactly what he needs to do on that defensive end. That defensive end is not doing a bad job here. He's trying to constrict the hole there. Right? And Andrew says he definitely would have tackled Cade. Yeah, it seems like it. So Barnhart, I think, really, really solid block on this one, on his pull. Because with his head inside, the only spot for this guy to go upfield, and that helps create a lane here for Haskins. And more importantly, it creates a lane for Shoemaker on his pull, right? So Shoemaker able to find his way through the hole and picks up a block here. You could argue there could have been a lane to the outside here for Haskins, If he's following the block for Shoemaker, read this, bounce to the outside. Could argue that, but regardless, Shoemaker does pick up this linebacker flowing to the play, right? This gentleman is flying down here. There's a gentleman for you, Andrew. So off the block here from Barnhart, Shoemaker's going to follow through, get this, and that's the block that Haskins is going to follow. So that happens, boom, boom, and Haskins runs into the backside linebacker. This guy's going to flow here and actually make first contact with Haskins a couple of yards down the field. And then the rest is just Haskins just making a play, right? He is just converted linebacker, boom, look at that. Initial contact, he already gains like 1.5 to 2 yards right there after initial contact, and then just keeps his legs moving, right? That's why you need a Haskins on your team. And why people are freaking out about like losing Zach Charbonnet is like Blake Corum brings you the explosiveness. Haskins brings the physicality that like not a whole lot of running backs can bring. And then let's look at the front side blocks, okay? Because you got a 2-on-1 block here. I can't tell exactly who this is. Looks like Keegan and Hayes probably, right? On the front side there. 2-on-1 there. And then it looks like Keegan is dropping off. Keegan's probably, so off of this 2-on-1, Keegan's probably looking to get to the linebacker level. Because of where 95 is going, Vistardis needs help on him, so they're not able to release to the second level onto this linebacker who eventually flows to the play. That's likely what happens, right? It's not designed to do like a double team drop off to get to another lineman. But because 95, right, Vistardis loses him to the play side there, that's kind of what happens, and they're not able to get to that linebacker. So that's what I think happens. And then Stuber just don't let this guy inside and just let him go to the outside and you're fine. Okay, so that's the play. And then, yeah, let's just marvel at Haskins just blowing through a linebacker, churn the legs. Schoonmaker continuing to block. Keegan and Barnhart join the party. And then it's just a mass of bodies. Love how Haskins runs. Yep, not sure if you can tell, but I would start JJ immediately and never look back. I can talk about that at the end. I'm not going to talk about it yet. Seems like we haven't seen a starting Michigan QB keep on a read except when we really need it on third and long situations. I think I'm with you. I think the coaches are likely overly teaching the starting quarterback to give. And what I mean by overly teaching, I think when a defender's in a gray area, I think they're defaulting to say just give in those scenarios. I think they're just terrified of losing a starting quarterback again to injury. I honestly think that's a thing. And yeah, I'll talk about it later, but there's so much value in having, the team's 7-0, and a lot of that is because Cade McNamara was able to lead the team against Nebraska and against Wisconsin with a steady offense. It's a steady offense. You bring in McCarthy, I don't care what your ceiling is, the floor is going to be lower. The floor is going to I think the floor is very possibly lower just because the very high likelihood of increasing your number of sacks and setting up your offense behind the sticks, increased chance of turnovers. Right? Both of those things, Cade McNamara has had 1 pick in his career at Michigan, knock on wood, and 1 sack this year. A lot of that keeps your offense ahead of schedule. We won the bye week. 6-0, 7-0, whatever we are. You get my point. But anyway, okay, we're moving on to the next play. I can talk about J.J. McCarthy all night.
More passes than they've had runs. 20.
Stop picking on me, Dudley. I meant 6-0. You get my point. You guys are mean. You're being rude. All right, what do we got here? Just a simple hitch route here. Should be a quick one. Good recognition. Just looking at the pass protection. Good recognition from Blake Corum, recognizing this guy's coming off the edge. Right, and then you have 1, 2, 3 additional guys. Think this guy's dropping back, right? Only 4 on pressure. Yep. So there's your 4 on pressure. It looks like Nebraska is slanting this way a little bit to try to free up this guy. Michigan doesn't buy it. Or actually, Michigan does kind of buy it, right? Because Hayes does follow this down the line. They get a matchup they want, free release here. They just happen to have Blake Corum in pass protection to pick this up. And you can see the eyes already for Blake Corum. He's focused on this guy coming off the edge, so they appropriately recognize where the pressure's coming from. So good job, Blake Corum, picking that up, going at the knees too, so it's not easy for that guy to like confidently jump or try to truck Blake Corum. It's just not going to happen. So good pass protection, right? Nothing's really getting through, and good job going across the quarterback here to pick this up from Blake Corum. See you, Venom22. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Isaac Scott, you know what I can't wait for? Those basketball film analysis games. Oh, man. That's going to be such a busy time when I start doing those with football. I don't know how I'm going to balance that. Kind of dreading that, honestly. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't have enough time for all of this, man. Okay, what are the routes? What are the routes looking like? Can't really tell at the bottom of the screen, right? We just see 1, 2. Don't really see what they're doing. You got a simple hitch route here. And then what else? Is that Eric All in this? Yeah, or Shoemaker. Shoemaker's just running this here. Simple hitch route for Baldwin. He's turning inside, not outside. So yeah, this is just seemingly a pretty quick read. Looks like eyes first for McNamara are right here. What is this guy doing? If he's dropping, then you know you're gonna have one-on-one right here. And there you go. So one-on-one coverage on a simple hitch. I included this one mainly just because I really like Daylen Baldwin able to make a guy miss, right? That he's starting to kind of like come into his own a little bit in this past game and really able to create some of his own yards. I still think he can do a better job fighting for some passes, tracking the ball in the air. I think he could do a little bit better job at that at times. But this is nice to see, right? This is a 5-yard gain that, boom, he turns into an 11-yard gain. And that's huge. That's, you know, that's a really good job. Is it me or does Cade take forever to develop his reads? I think it's kind of you. This is a pretty well-timed throw. Like, I mean, maybe that's a beat late, right? You could argue this is a beat late, but I mean, it's not like he's been sacked one time, right? And the offense, you know, maybe not as explosive as it could be, but he's not making the wrong reads. So I don't know why we don't have Roman Wilson one-on-one, just throw it deep. Well, Roman Wilson, I don't think was in this game, right? He was not in this game. Do you think we see a similar game plan versus Northwestern? It'll be heavy rush attack. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to Northwestern after this. I'm gonna do 5 more plays here, and then we'll get into Northwestern.
Out of Southfield, Michigan.
Oh, I love this play. So how much of this is actually a fake and how much of this is a design? I'm going to say that this is for sure a design. Yeah, it's for sure a design. This is just a huge like play design win overall. And the first thing I want to look at is actually the blocking on the outside, okay? Because you have orbit motion for Blake Corum out to the outside, and Baldwin's whole job here, sell this block. Sell this block. Isaac Scott, I'll answer that a little bit later. Sam, appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate the kind words. So this is all just designed around sell this block. This orbit motion should get this guy to fly up, and then Baldwin will be free to go after that fake orbit, right? And the beauty about this is how do you defend this, right? Because this is like what you want to see the offense doing more of. Because if this guy doesn't react hard to this orbit motion, right? Or I'm sorry, yeah, to this orbit motion for Blake Corum, and he's just like staying locked on here, what you actually do then is throw the orbit motion, right? Because if this guy's too worried about this leak out for Baldwin, then you just throw the orbit motion, you got an easy block, right? So there's no easy answer on how to cover this. This is just beautiful play design, and this is why you do it. And then you have Cornelius Johnson, I think, just running off number 6, get him out of there. Yeah, and you're right. It's actually a deep post. Good call, unveiling knowledge. Deep post here from Cornelius Johnson just to take that guy out of the play and occupy the safety as well. So, yeah, that fake right here from Cade McNamara will switch the other view. That's what gets this guy to fly up to the orbit motion, and then you just leak him out, have him continue on, and there's your big play. Throw could have been probably a little bit more accurate, right? I mean, it's not bad, right? It doesn't really force him to turn around. He loses maybe a couple yards, right? I don't think this is a touchdown if it's thrown perfectly ahead of him. This is one of those situations where it's like, just give him the ball, right? This is a huge ass play. Yeah, maybe you could have gotten a touchdown if it was delivered better and on time, but not like dramatically. So this is more of a play where like, I am fine just delivering the ball to the open area, have Baldwin adjust, maybe lose a couple yards, but completing that play is way better than an overthrow. So yeah, and it's good timing overall, right? So boom, here's your orbit motion. Good fake here, right? So he does a quick peek over here, boom, and then he's just waiting for that to pop open, right? So it's just this fake right here, the eyes, he's hoping that just sells it, right? Just that little release of the ball, there's your fake, and then boom, I'm going to deliver the ball. So this is just a schematic win, right? And in terms of pressure, they're only bringing 4. Michigan's keeping in Haskins initially to see if anyone else is coming. And you got nothing going here, right? So plenty of time here. Good eyes here. That's going to sell this and then just leak out. And there you win. So yep, that's good. It's zone as well. Baldwin's supposed to sit down. He's open, so he keeps running. Yeah, I mean, again, this is just throw it to the open area. This is just a schematic win. You win this play just from the completion alone. Anything after that is gravy, right? You complete that, boom, that's already a 20-yard gain. Get some extra yards, sure. Possibly a touchdown if it's defended poorly, but I actually think number 6 does a pretty good job coming off of Cornelius Johnson's route here to actually make a play. I think he actually reacted way faster. Andrew, I think the offense might be better under JJ. I'd be worried about winning those tight games if we're turning the ball over an extra time or two. Yeah, what happens in this game, the Nebraska game or the Wisconsin game, if not the Wisconsin game. Hold on. Yeah, what happens this year if Michigan played J.G. McCarthy? That Rutgers game, pretty close, right? Nebraska, I think Michigan might lose to Nebraska if he starts, right? So, yeah, I'm with you, Andrew. I think Nebraska game, you risk the loss there. Even Rutgers game, yeah, the upside is probably there. I think it's probably there, but you're 6-0 with a couple big games on the road that you win. We're now at a point where the game might have been, the offense might be better, but you're still 6-0 with a couple big road wins, like in hostile environments. So. And this is one of 2 plays I think I have of Eric All, and this is why Eric All, this is like what I envisioned for him in this offense, right? This is why a team can always use an Eric All, because he's just too fast for most linebackers. Because like, I'm just going to pause it right here. Most scenarios, you look at this tight end catching the ball right here with these defenders flowing quickly. I mean, some people may say that, like, yeah, I expect a first down, but if you just pluck like a Big Ten tight end and put him in this scenario, I gotta think at least less than 50% get an actual first down here, right? I'd say probably less than, I don't know. I don't think there's a whole lot of tight ends in the Big Ten right now that picks up this first down. I just don't. And yeah, that's true, Dudley. Maybe Rutgers, that wasn't a great game for McNamara. But I'm going to stick by what I said about that, where there's a difference between having an off game and having a bad game. Okay, there's been games where Cade McNamara has been off and not great, but he hasn't lost a game for Michigan. Not at this point, right? He hasn't lost the game for them. Sure, he hasn't played exceptionally well in certain games, but he hasn't been like a super negative point. So anyway, we can talk about that later. But anyway, this is why you want Eric All, because he has the athleticism. So here's the thing. Not only to pick up the first down in this scenario, he gets 7 yards past the first down. 6 yards past the first down in this play. I mean, that's super valuable. So let's look at the route tree here real quick. And again, I have to go through this a couple times. Looks like you just have kind of a wheel route here from Blake Corum. Inside release, kind of like a skinny post here. And then what's happening at the top of the screen? Nothing really, right? But he's just going out up the sideline here. And then, yeah, it's just Eric All leaking out here. And this is where the ball is delivered. So 4 on pressure for Nebraska. Nothing too much to report there, right? Michigan's got 5 in for pass protection, plus Eric All. He's just leaking late. And this is a case where they actually had a linebacker, right? He should be able to cover this, but he's just dropping here, right? He's not seeing anything, so he's just continuing to get depth, and then come across here. Cade avoids sacks. I missed that. What do you mean? Cade has only been sacked like once all year. So yeah, this is just another really good play design. Where are the eyes for McNamara? Looks like he's initially looking. This is hard to tell. Looks like he's initially looking here, but this is such a hard route to win on the outside for Cornelius Johnson, it looks like. And then he's shifting just to that linebacker just to see what kind of depth he's getting here for this late leak. And delivers nicely. This is another case, though. You could have the argument, right, that there is a pass to be thrown here to Sainristil on the skinny post, right? Now, you do have to throw that over this guy, right? And with this guy still getting some depth here, again, there's an argument of how high could you put this pass, and you do have a safety over top. That's a pretty tight window. Again, you could argue, but I think he made the right call dumping it off here to Eric All. And again, this is why you have an Eric All. He has the athleticism to make a cut there, make another cut, and boom, picks up, what is that, 14 yards? Oh man, we're just full in quarterback competition here. Okay. I'm just going to keep doing analysis. We got 3 plays left.
This arrangement is great that the number 2 quarterback gets a lot of reps. Here's Corum with a burst of speed. Touchdown, Michigan.
All right, we got Bash. It's Bash time. And they're just punishing this defensive end here. Okay, I'm going to stop paying attention to the comments for now. What do we got? We got Bash. Poor Vistartis doesn't have anything to do. So you got same job here for Barnhart, for Keegan, for Stuber. Just block these three gentlemen. Don't let them flow to the play, right? If they flow this way, you've lost your job. Leave this guy unblocked, okay? They're just running this with Corum, just leaving him unblocked, making the bet that he can beat him to the outside, and it's a good bet. And then kind of a crack block here for Shoemaker right here. Release to linebacker level, and then is Baldwin going to block this guy or just run him off the field? I can't really tell. But let's see. Yep, he blocks the guy. So this is a case where, again, schematic win, right? Because you got Blake Corum just absolutely dusting defensive end, right? So that's just an automatic win. Really good block from Hayes. And they just have blocks downfield that just continue to just go throughout the entire play, right? Shoemaker and Baldwin both get gold stars here on the gentleman that they're blocking. And that's such a big win, right? And then one other thing here, this is more of a miscommunication from Nebraska than anything else. This guy has to recognize that this guy is his outside arm free, right? So really there's nothing going to this side for Blake Corum. He's threatening this, right? He's threatening this, and this safety thinks there's going to be a gap right here that Blake Corum can run through, right? He's seeing this. He's seeing this. He thinks there's still a gap here that he needs to shoot for this. And it's a good job from Blake Corum to be selling this, right? This is next level running back where he's selling to the outside here. Of course, he needs to get lateral movement here to get away from the defensive end. But because he sells this to the outside, that forces this guy to commit this too early. And then you have that cutback lane way too dramatic. It's not that dramatic, but you have the cutback for Blake Corum off of that, right? So because that linebacker, that Shoemaker is blocking, continues to fight this way, that constricts this hole, but also gives the angle here for Blake Corum to cut across the grain here, and he's gone. And yeah, it's just a thing where it's like that's what you can do when you have a Blake Corum on the roster, right? You can't do that if you're most Big Ten teams. It's actually a really strong year for running backs in the Big Ten at the top, right? Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State probably have three of, I don't know, maybe top 10 running backs in the country right now. He's really good. Blake could be so good he doesn't get the right play calls. I mean, he already has what, like 6 to 8 touchdowns. I mean, he's one of the best backs in the Big Ten, so I don't buy that. I think he's getting plenty of his. But yeah, he's a special back.
Haskins with lots of room. Haskins up and over. Still going inside the 30.
And then when you have a guy like Blake Corum who's your lightning, and then this is your thunder, right? It's just like, my God, like what are we even doing here, right? Like, how is this even fair? If this is supposed to be your thunder back, right? Your short yardage, and he is your short yardage back, then to have Haskins hurdling dudes who are standing straight up, right? Standing straight up. And have the audacity to do that. Well, he's not standing straight up, but he decides to hurdle while he is still standing straight up. Pretty wild. Okay, counter tray here. Right, it's counter tray. Is that Barnhart pulling? So again, this is, you leave this guy coming off the line of scrimmage. Barnhart's going to take him out. You can have, I think it's Shoemaker going up through the hole here. And then what do you have? Backside block. Leave this guy unblocked. Pick up this guy for Stuber. This should form the left side of the hole. Filiaga initially chip this, then get to the second level to pick up probably this guy, because this is the first guy through that Shoemaker should pick up through the hole, right? Really messy, but just wild. Okay, so Barnhart, again, he did this on the last counter trade. Barnhart really doing a good job on this initial block. He gets out there pretty quickly, and then he doesn't give any ground, right? Good bend here, forms that right side of the hole here, and provides a good lane here. Now, Stuber could have done better. Stuber loses leverage on his guy a little bit, does push him inside, but, you know, this is a little close for comfort for Haskins. Does a good job staying engaged, getting him decleated, right? But loses leverage a little bit. Filiaga getting his way up here really well, and Shoemaker gets to number 28. Kind of takes himself out of the play as well, right? That guy way over commits to the outside. But I mean, to be fair, this guy is kind of out in no man's land, right? You got two potential paths for Blake Corum. He's trying to split the difference here, and Shoemaker just picks up a nice block. So it's really well blocked from everybody, and there he goes, right? One-on-one against the safety. Haskins, who's usually a guy who says, I'm just going to truck the guy, says, I'm going over this gentleman. And then the craziest thing about this hurdle, he keeps going. He picks up 25 yards after the hurdle, and you just don't see that happen. Usually you see a hurdle, and it's like, that's pretty good, and then he gets tackled a couple yards, right? He did that at the 50, and he made his way all the way down to the 25. And it's like, that was the most efficient way for this play to continue, was that hurdle. It wasn't just a cool thing. It was also insanely efficient, and also slowed down number 13, another pursuer of this play. So it was just beautiful. I just, probably my favorite play of the year so far. So impressive how he doesn't even break stride. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. And I remember at the beginning of the year, I tweeted out, or I said, like, Zach Charbonnet is a really, really good back, and you can still say that and still be extremely comfortable that this is like one of Michigan's best running back rooms in a long time, right? Like, I also said early on in the season, like, which running back room would you trade for Michigan's? And I don't think there's any. I don't. It's pretty wild. So it's a really, really fun room. And Andrew, you actually said it. One of those rare times hurdle doesn't get you tackled from behind. Yeah, it was the most efficient way to continue that play. It's just so, I don't know if I've ever seen it like that efficient of a hurdle before. It was phenomenal. Okay, last play. And then we'll do Northwestern analysis.
To go for two when he had a 12-point lead. McNamara over the middle. Can Eric Gall get there? Yes, he can.
Again, man, this is why you have an Eric Gall on the roster. Now, there could be, I don't have the all-22. He could be missing some reads. Cade McNamara could, okay? Eric Gall had a really, really rough year last year, 100%. Dropped a lot of things, was not a good year for him. But this is finally where I think we're starting to see Eric Gall in the way that he should be used, right? Like, boom, right here. Another thing. You take this screenshot, sub out, Photoshop Eric Gall for any other Big Ten tight end. It's 3rd and 9. How many will you predict in this scenario that you actually pick up a first down, right? I don't think there's a whole lot. And yeah, he just continues to fight here. Boom, beats that linebacker, right? And now he's just in open field. And even the like little things, right? I like how he runs in the open field here, where he recognizes, okay, who's my like biggest threat right here? This guy. And he puts on kind of like a little double move to freeze him, get him to commit. And he picks up a few subtle yards by doing those like micro cuts like that, right? Number 13 is on the floor. It didn't really make a play on that. Boom, knocks off one guy, continuing to fight. And it's just a great play. So I'm really happy that Eric Gall can still fought off last year, right? And then just able to continue to produce this year. Like, I'm really happy for him because last year was a rough year. Okay, what are the routes on this play? We can't see any routes. This is the worst. Why? can I just be mad for a second? Why do they do this? Why do they zoom in? Right? Okay, here's a snap. It's obvious a pass. Let's zoom in on the quarterback. Like, sure, you get the actual pass here, but like, I can't tell shit about what's going on downfield. Right? All I see, he's running somewhere, he's on a little wheel. Right? And then you get a little late tight end leak again. And that's all I see. I don't have any idea what's going on down the field. Why do they do this? Anyway, this is likely another scenario where you have this wide receiver right here threatening a skinny post. 42 is dropping here to cover the skinny post. And then when you have the leak for Eric All, because it's so late, they're not accounting for this. So everyone's dropping into the zones. They don't see anybody coming across around this 5 yard marker. So they continue to get depth because they don't think there's any threat there. And then by the time that they see Eric All and the ball's there, good luck, because you have an athletic tight end against a linebacker who isn't a Wisconsin linebacker, and you're going to lose that battle. So again, are there potential misses down the field? Could be. I could be missing things, right? The camera angle isn't helping me out on that analysis. Do you wish the default camera in football was behind the QB looking vertical? I would prefer to have a package that is the all 22 film for every single game. That's the dream, all 22. Because you can still miss certain things in terms of like coverage and different routes when you're just behind the quarterback. But if you have the all 22, that would be ideal. If I could have both behind the quarterback to look at like the pass protection and the all 22, oh man, I would be in a different place right now. I would be very happy. But yeah, Eric All showing up. And this is a great play against a weak, if a team ever has a weaker linebacker core, this will be a successful play. Because more often than not, you're going to have the linebackers who are responsible for this. And Eric All is a really, really good matchup against linebackers. So this is just the case where put your players in a position to be successful. And on all of these tight end leak plays, Eric All has been put in a position to be really successful. So yeah, that's kind of it for Nebraska. Super late, super late, but really good game, right? Really good game. And then Nebraska turns around and loses to Northwestern, which, how does that even happen? Xavier Worthy. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know what went on there, man. That was so sad. So how did Nebraska go from playing Michigan really, really tough to then losing to Northwestern, right? How does that even happen? So should we do it? Should we just dive right into the Northwestern preview here? Because I'm really curious about what actually happened in this game. I didn't watch it, but I saw the result, and I was like, what actually happened here? Okay, what are there things to know about Northwestern? Let's switch to purple, because that's what they are. They like to run a 4-3 a lot. Cover 2 team, from what I've gathered. They have one good safety, one good cornerback, and the rest is pretty rough. Their front 7 is really bad. That's all I've known. Their front 7 is really rough, especially in the run game. All right, so run game, Michigan should be able to absolutely demolish Northwestern. Oh man, that's just bad coverage. So yeah, man, I don't know. This is the right year, right? 2021. Okay. Oh, I'm stupid. Rutgers. I'm thinking of Rutgers. Rutgers. My mind's all messed up. Rutgers lost to Northwestern. Nebraska just absolutely demolished. Absolutely demolished them. My bad. My bad, my bad. So yeah, this I won't spend a whole lot of time on because Nebraska, I really like their offense actually. And this is going to be a rough watch. We can probably learn some things from the offense though. Because the offense, again, doesn't have a whole lot going for it. Stephon Robinson is the only guy to really be worthy of anything from Northwestern. Oh, God. Oh, just really rough blitz pickup. They just don't know what's happening here at all. So, yeah, I think the pass rush will absolutely be there for Michigan against Northwestern. Their offensive line isn't great. In terms of, like, the rushing offense for Northwestern, they're averaging something like they had 1.4 yards per carry against Nebraska. They had like 3 yards per carry against Rutgers and Michigan State. So yeah, sorry, Rutgers got beat by Northwestern, which is also very shocking. But yeah, Nebraska absolutely just demolished. And this is like such a great play right here to tell you how bad Northwestern is. This guy just absolutely gets demolished. And this is like the bulky back for Nebraska. And he just absolutely breaks the ankles of this of this defender. So Northwestern's bad. And if Michigan doesn't run for like over 400 yards, I would be shocked. Because Northwestern does have a decent corner, but they just get ran all over, and appropriately so. Also, this play, I just noticed, this should be a penalty, right? Am I crazy? Watch this. He's starting at the 5, right? When you go in motion, this isn't Canadian football. You can't be running up here, so he's going to be running up for like a crack block. He gets like 2 yards before the snap goes. Oh, shoot. What'd I do? We're back at film analysis. No, but watch that guy. He's like moving. He's moved up a full yard at that point. So that's pretty bad. I feel like this game's going to be close. Dude, you are really, really discounting. I mean, I can move on to the actual Rutgers game to look at that because maybe that's a better judge of how their defense will do against us. But I don't know, man. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Northwestern. And yeah, their quarterback, Ryan Helinski's the guy who's like, what, their third quarterback now? Because they had Hunter Johnson, then got injured. Andrew Marty came off the bench, looked better than Johnson, then he got hurt. Now you have Ryan Helinski, the South Carolina transfer. I mean, yeah, I understand that like Nebraska's offense is very different and dynamic in a way that like attacks Northwestern in different ways. But like, I mean, Michigan State still put up 326 yards. And Michigan State put up 326 yards on 8.8 yards per carry. 8.8. Okay. So that's really bad. All right, I'm just going to go through this. So yeah, Nebraska just Northwestern had no answer for any sort of quarterback keeper, which if you're playing Nebraska, that's like priority numero uno. And there's just nobody there. So yeah, I want to see the offense one more series here. Hey, there's a first down. And then I'll switch over to the Rutgers game. Helinski, I don't know, man. Nice little move there. There's a good throw. That's Robinson Jr. That's a guy to watch out for. Kansas transfer. I think without a doubt their best player is Robinson. There's the double move that actually got them a score. He's a guy you got to watch. So if you're looking for like how will Michigan's corners look, actually you'll probably just see Dax Hill on him all game. But he's good. He's a good wide receiver. All right, let's shift over to the other game because I agree. Let's look at what actually happened to Rutgers. Yeah, I also think people are selling our offense short. I think it's a much better offense than people are. So far, who do you think has been the best offensive hire? Probably Mike Hart. Although I think the talent was already there. You could say Sharon Moore switching to the offensive line was a really good move. I don't know. All right, so let's see how they actually did this to Rutgers, okay? Because this is wild to me. They lose 56-7, whatever that game was. There's Robinson again. Right? You lose, you just get absolutely demolished by Nebraska, and then you turn around and beat Rutgers, which is pretty crazy. So if you're looking for the strategy, this is what they're going to do, okay? They're just going to do like the Michigan State 2020 strategy, I think, and just throw it up to Robinson and make the bet that they can get some yards or penalties against Michigan by throwing it up to Robinson on the outside. I think that's going to be the strategy for Northwestern's offense because I don't see how else they get yards. I don't. So this is what I'm more interested in. How did they stop Rutgers? Was it more Rutgers imploding or was it more Northwestern doing fun things? All right. I'm looking just at these highlights here. So that's a good play. This is actually a good play. A little pressure. Doesn't get picked up appropriately. Nice little stunt. That gets home. I'm guessing that was that first down? No, that was third down probably because they had to punt. So that's a bad throw from Helinski. Yeah, we don't get to see everything that's happening here. 3rd and 11 here. That's just pretty bad play overall. Good reaction to the screen from Northwestern. There's Robinson again. I swear, man, I'm going to call out his name just like every single play for Northwestern. I feel like that's all they got. Guess who again? No, that's a different guy. I thought it was number 5 again. That was a bad tackle from Northwestern. Yeah, nice pass. You gotta make that tackle though. We'll say cornerbacks have been better than I expected this year. They're playing with more confidence. I don't think they're great. I think there's still opportunities for them to get exposed a little bit, but they haven't faced the best competition yet. So I'm still a little worried. Jury's still out for me on the cornerbacks. But I think the defense overall playing better, especially with a good defensive line, things like that, gives them more confidence overall. 3rd and 1 here. That's just not great. So Northwestern looks really prepared for like these leak plays, right? They look really prepared for someone like Langen at Rutgers compared to what they were for Nebraska. So whether this is like just stylistically they're better prepared for a team like Rutgers, I don't know. Because honestly, it's mind-boggling to go from a like 50-point loss to Nebraska to then turn around and beat Rutgers. What was that? That was weird. All right. Can't believe that didn't get blocked. Oh, God. What was he doing? Michigan 24-21. Dudley, when I do analysis next week, if Michigan only wins by 3, what do you want me to do? I will do the Dudley Dawson dance if Michigan only wins by 3. All right? I don't even know what that looks like, and that's how confident I am. Great block on the outside on that screen right there. Boom. Takes out that cornerback's legs. He actually still makes a tackle. All right, so they're set up well. They're going for it on 4th and 12. That's pretty wild. That looked like a tip pass, but not great. All right, so this is just an ugly game at this point. Ooh, a little wheel route. Well, I mean, well guarded, right? Nothing coming open here. I'm interested to see the running game here for Rutgers. Doesn't seem like they're doing a whole lot. Oh, nice run. 2nd and 10. Picked that one up. Where are we at? Second quarter now. Yep, second quarter. 3rd and 12. Going deep. Good defense. What a grab. Holy cow. That's by the running back, too. Jeez. I think I had him in fantasy last week. Yeah, I had him in fantasy because I expected Rutgers to run all over Northwestern. Just didn't happen, obviously. What's happening? Official incomplete pass? Really? Never mind. All right, so then they have to punt. I like that little just dive, just a little hop over. That was funny. Okay, so they pick up the first down on 30-yard line. That looks like a hold, right? Am I crazy? Right here? Is this not a hold right here on this gentleman? Looks like this springs this play open. I don't know where this play is going. That seems like a hold right there, right? Maybe not. It's a big play. Third and 7 here. Free pressure. Yeah. Man, if Michigan gets pressure on this guy, like, he's just going to throw it in the dirt. I think you're crazy, Dudley. I think you're being just a nervous Nelly. A nervous Ned. Oh, man, if that's a better throw, it probably is going for 6. But Bo Melton, it's a good wide receiver. Ooh, the little pop pass. That's well delivered. 3rd and 12 here. They got to get points on this one, right? This has got to be their 7. Boom, little play action. Pump fake. Go for the end zone. Wide open. Good feet. Bo Melton? Yeah, it's Bo Melton. Good awareness back there. Didn't have to throw it, you know. He had plenty of room to throw it elsewhere. Look at the footwork. Boom. It's an NFL touchdown. Nice job. Oh, what a greatly timed pump fake and double move there. That's going to get most people. All right, so there's your 7. Second quarter, 7-7. 3rd and 7. Ooh, that looked close to a block in the back, right? Right there from 77. Yeah, come on. Isn't there a rule about blocking the back if it's like at the line of scrimmage or something stupid? I thought that was only in the tackle box. Rutgers offense screams Sunbelt to me, and I love it. Yeah, you're right. Really does. All the pop passes. Oh, they did call a block in the back. Okay. I was like, what's going on? All these big plays for Northwestern, they're not getting called for them. And I was like, okay. They called that one. That's a good call. 3rd and 17 now. They're backed up, behind schedule on offense. Oh my God, how is that thrown out a pick? You kidding me? There's Robinson again. They don't show another angle of that? Dude, I'm convinced that this Dudley Dawson guy, I'm not trying to pick on you. I just think you're being a little negative. But my Uncle Ken, and Andrew, you'll know what I'm talking about. I feel like my Uncle Ken is like Dudley Dawson personified. And it's just his burner account is Dudley Dawson. Seems like an Uncle Ken move. I don't know if that was a first down. It's a pretty generous spot, I think. Yeah, no clipping in the box. Okay. I thought it was tackle box. So since that was outside, that was the right call. Ooh, nice play. How did he get open here? Is this another RPO? Oh, looks like he just got separation on number 15. 15 just couldn't stick with him. Oh, man. Some missed tackles from Rutgers all over the place. I remember Uncle Ken. He's still with us, Andrew. You don't have to say it like that. Good tackle. Yeah, Stephon Robinson, I think, is the only guy to really watch. All right. You get any pressure. Oh. They called this? You're calling that? Oh, man. What a bailout. That was 3rd and 6. You're calling pass interference on that? Oh, man. That sets up another score. Brutal. Good play. But, man, that's brutal. Oh, man. I hate that call. All right, pass to tight end. 3rd and 5. Approaching midfield here. End of the half. Throw it. Oh, it gets tipped. Bummer. That was 3rd and 5. Why didn't he throw this earlier? Man, that was a long wait. That's like the first run I've seen from Northwestern. So on 3rd and 10. They're punting the ball. Still got a chance at the end of the half here for Rutgers. Throw the ball, man. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I know you have him, Andrew. Oh, my gosh. 3rd and 4, they try to call like a quarterback draw, it looks like here. If our 2 top 10 running backs with league high 16 rushing touchdowns don't run it down Northwestern's throat tomorrow, I'll eat my shoe. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at too, man. And that's why I'm starting Blake Corum in my fantasy, because you'd be a crazy person not to. If Michigan doesn't pick up more than like 4 yards per carry, honestly, it should be over 5 yards per carry. But if they don't do over 4 yards per carry, like their legs will have fallen off. What happens on this play? I want to pay attention to what happened on this play. Nothing really. I mean, 72 just kind of lost his guy. Lost the defensive end who crashed back inside. Oh, sorry. I'm tired. Now they just kneel it out. What a disaster end of half for Rutgers. All right, thanks for stopping by, Dudley. I do appreciate the alternate view at times. But no, I appreciate you stopping by and participating in the chat. It means a lot. Enjoy the game. After this replay, I'll be hitting the sack myself. Who gets first rushing touchdown tomorrow? I'll say Blake Corum. I think he's due. He hasn't scored a whole lot. It's been Haskins scoring most of the touchdowns. I think he's going to like break off a big run. Get an early touchdown. Oh. Walensky's not afraid, man. He'll run the ball. He's got some moxie. Under center, they only run the ball. Oh, my God. How are you a collegiate athlete? It's 4th and 1. And you jump off sides. I would argue, though, that the motions here from the offense are, like, kind of triggering the defense to go off there. But, yeah. How many does Donovan Edwards get is the real question. Ooh. He'll get 1. Throw it. No. See, they just don't have a running game, man. That's the only running back, really. They have Evan Hull. They have one other guy. But they don't have a whole lot. What is that? What did they see? What did they see? What is this? To your question, Neil Wiggins, when does JJ get in tomorrow? I'd love if they trotted him out at halftime. Just treat it like a new game, right? Hopefully Michigan's up like 21 or 28 by half. Again, this is a hope. But it'd be great if you could just trot out JJ McCarthy with the game at least comfortable and have like the whole first team offense out there as well and just treat it as treat the second half as like start of a new game, right? Call like a scripted drive and see how JJ McCarthy does. That'd be my ideal if you do that, and then you can get, I don't know, Bowman or someone else in part of the fourth quarter and stuff. The up back didn't release fast enough. Dude, I don't know. What are they doing? What's the design here? Like, where are they even going? What? I don't understand what the expectation here is. That seems like just a busted call. That's really rough. Okay, Rutgers back on offense in a game that they just don't want to win, it seems. I mean, do that every time. I don't know. I like Aaron Young, and they have a Mundagai, right? Kyle Mundagai and Pacheco. He got held up. Well, you don't say, Andrew. I think you are right. He did. All right, what is this flag? What? What happened on this play? Delay a game and then unsportsmanlike conduct? Okay, so it's delay a game, and then they called unsportsmanlike conduct for the punch of the ball out of Pacheco's hands by the linebacker. That's just hilarious. He just punches the ball out and gets called. That's so funny. What a ridiculous penalty call. Oh my gosh, Rutgers just imploding. 3rd and 8. Oh, I hate this play call. Think you're going to get 8 yards with that? Oh, my God. All right, 4th down. Oh, and you miss a field goal. They just don't want to win this game. That's what happened. Is that caught? Oh, my gosh. Robinson, man. You're going to... You need to watch... You need to watch this guy. Oh, he caught that. Probably good in the NFL, too. Oh, it looked like he was bobbling it. Yeah, he was bobbling it. But even so, man. Greg Shannon and Pat Fitzgerald look like stepbrothers. That's funny. Little screen. Oh, he gets demolished. I gotta say, Northwestern looks really prepared for this offense. Like, they do. They look like they know exactly what Rutgers wants to do here. So I'm actually impressed with that. Oh, my gosh. Robinson's a monster, man. If there's one area to be concerned about, it's the one-on-one matchup anybody has against Robinson.
Around the edge.
That guy's pretty good. That could have been called a late hit.
Forced out by Kasson Abraham. First tackle.
Yeah, Robinson's a really good player.
That's a loss back for 3rd and 8. And Polinsky under direct.
Dude, I'm like, just get pressure on the guy, right? And that's the thing about Robinson that scares me is they're just going to throw a bunch of like back shoulder fades, just hope for flags on the outside, similar to how Michigan State approached in 2020. Just Dax Hill just shadow Robinson, right? That's the approach. That's what you got to do. Oh my God, I'm going to fall asleep watching this game, man. No one wants to do anything. Oh, good defense. I got to say, Rutgers is trying to run like a lot of screens. Lots of negative plays on screens. Northwestern is super fast on that. How is their quarterback going to have time to get passes off? I mean, that was the same issue, unveiling knowledge, that Michigan State had in 2020. They had a really bad offensive line. When you're throwing just a like 3-step drop, boom, fade. 3-step drop, boom, fade. Just to a single, wide receiver to the outside. You can do that without any protection, and you'll get the ball off. Honestly, they can't do anything else, but neither could Michigan State last year, and that's what happened. Wait, this is 2nd and 8. They called unsportsmanlike conduct? I don't know what they did, but they got a first down because of unsportsmanlike conduct, whatever Rutgers did there. Oh, missed tackle. That would have been big. 2nd and 1 here. Oh, good run. Another flag. What is this? Looks like it backed him up a bit, right? 2nd and 8. Little pump fake. They're going to call a flag. I don't know if there should be a flag there. What? Is this a flag? Man, that's a pretty weak flag. I don't know. What do you think of this being a trophy game? I love this being a trophy game. It's a really cool trophy, too. First African-American player for both programs. So that's like a super, super cool backstory to the trophy. I'm all about just like add a trophy to a lot of games. I think there's a fun thing about just saying like we have the trophy in our trophy case. You can play for it next year. Or, I think that's kind of a fun thing. So I'm all about it. I think the backstory is pretty cool, too. Shines a light on like a cool piece of history, but like a connection between the two programs. So I get it. I like a trophy to be meaningful, like the brown jug. But like, I think trophy games are fun in general. So I love it. Oh, good push there. 3rd and goal, another run up the middle, and they score. Okay. 21-7.
I like this kid. I think he's a good player. That's just good power. Really. And the leader's not supposed to be all.
So what happens here, man? Oh my gosh, how do you not pick up a yard against these guys? 3rd and 13. Arm gets hit. Man, they're getting pretty decent pressure, but like, yeah, they're getting pretty decent pressure. And a lot of these throws are just like not clean, and also just like, where the hell was that throw going? So Rutgers looks completely out of sorts. It looks like Northwestern was pretty well prepared on defense. And it looks like Rutgers' offensive line was kind of just getting kind of mauled, especially in pass protection against Northwestern. So, again, I think everything is pointing towards just Michigan focusing strictly on the run game. And it's pretty wild that Rutgers was struggling so much at quarterback and just continues on 3rd and short to throw these sorts of plays at the wall. And the annoying thing about the state game is that like that wide receiver has like dropped off the face of the earth. Ricky White hasn't done like anything else ever again. Yeah, I mean, Rutgers' offensive line is seemingly just dying in any sort of pass rush situation. They just could not figure it out. That was 4th down, too. Oh, man. And then they pick up first down. They can just run out the clock. Right? Yeah, it's game over. Man. Brutal. Lots of negative plays for Rutgers. Looks like their offense is just out of sorts. Northwestern was well prepared. Okay. It's been, what, 2 hours I've been live streaming? Boy. Okay. Still 60 plus people here. I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out. It's going to be a big announcement next week. Personal announcement, channel announcement. Lots of stuff coming next week. But beat Northwestern, run the ball down their throats, get pressure on their quarterback, and shut down Stephon Robinson. You do those things, you're going to win big. But otherwise, guys, subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video. Andrew, appreciate you stopping by. Sam, Ryan, unveiling knowledge. Appreciate everyone who is a member who stopped by earlier as well. Venom, I know you stopped by. A couple guys stopped by as well. Isaiah, Michael, Rod Anderson, Greg Jones, D Brown, Squishy, Squishay1. It's a great name. Colin Garrow. Lots of guys. Appreciate you all stopping by. And I'll check in with you next week. All right. Go Blue. Beat Northwestern. Go Blue. Go Blue.